Oh, I didn't allow room for my legs. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Happy Saturday. Good evening. I wanted to speak today because I told you in my last couple pieces, because of the subject matter that I was covering in those two pieces, they were spontaneous. One was I brought you the lady who had exposed her daughter as a incest or molestation victim, and the other one was the sister claiming she wanted to see her boyfriend's reaction if she played with her kitty in the car, and the thought was offensive, and out of bounds, really. And then following up was just one video down from that was this other one of this, the one I just cited, the lady. I didn't watch the video. I just heard her say, I'll never go live, and then it was the whole exposing her daughter. I want to talk about those things. I felt like I wanted to expound upon that. Also, I think it was Corindle. I don't know who's here, but somebody, I think it was Corindle, sent me something and asked me. I'll read it. I'll find it and I'll read it. That'll be easier. But also, I wanted to talk about why I titled the stream what I did. Is because I deeply feel that something big is brewing. I was telling you in our recent gatherings that, and certainly over on my Jedi Africa channel, I was stressing that you need to consider getting out, that it's time to leave this country. Even if you can't move right now, even if you don't want to go to Africa, just get out. Find some place even where you don't need a passport, because getting a passport will be timely for you now. So maybe you could just find something that doesn't require a passport, and just get out. This has crescendoed in me because if I don't text Shiro, I will be dead. So let me stop and do that. Where's my queen? Um, that has crescendoed in me now because I'm live, comma. Sorry, I forgot to let you know. But I'm live, so hope I'll see you here. I love you. Period. Over the weeks, I've been seeing videos. You know, you have to remain calm and purposeful in moments of crisis, everybody, and high drama and speculation, because people let their imaginations just run away with them. You know, um, you got a lot of low knowledge people out there. You got a lot of people with no knowledge at all, and you've got speculative people who think they know stuff. It's all the spectrum. But I always tell you, you have to be the captain of your vessel and you have to stand at your gate. That means spiritually and emotionally, mentally, physically, in every way. You have to guard this vessel that is you, that makes up your entire existence in this arc of existence we're experiencing right now. This is your gate, this is your ship. You have to guard it. So I don't like to let myself get bogged down, but I also have to infuse my own knowledge and wisdom that the divine allows me. What is known, what is practical, historical, cross-referencing. When I started seeing, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I started seeing, just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I started seeing people with this, I feel like I'm crooked. I started seeing people with this, videos, not people, videos, damn it. I should just put a leveler on it. I started seeing videos of these blue lights, like these street lights that are blue, like black lights. And, I saw a few of those and I thought, okay, that's fine. Then I saw a video here or there where there is huge numbers of military personnel assembling. Okay, that's fine. Gas stations, okay. Then I would see people filming rail trains going by with full tanks and all this military gear and stuff on it. Okay, that's fine. Then I would see Walmarts that people are in saying, look what's happening in Walmart. And, okay. But then you start seeing Walmarts with cages in them. That goes from an okay to a Then you start noticing that these trains are not being sighted in 1 or 2 or 3, but several states. These rail cars with this military stuff. You're seeing more videos of full brigades of military convoys going down highways. Then you find out that the black lights are all over the place. And then you see news reports. I'll go back. You find out that the black lights are everywhere. And I got to keep an eye on it. And you find out the black lights are everywhere. And news reporters are reporting on it. And of course playing it down, we spoke to the power company and they told us that, and they have this light, matter of fact tone that is not accidental. It's on purpose. And you're hearing that Um, I'm seeing military people that are saying, "I don't think so," as it relates to vaccines. They're saying, "I'm not having it." I saw one where the guy was saying, it's I took an oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I'm gonna have to keep my oath. I'm seeing police officers. I'm seeing doctors. Doctors. I saw a doctor crying. Like, I don't know where he was from. He wasn't American, whatever that is, but he was some culture, crying, and he was a grown man crying, and at some point you have to. I always tell you, when something becomes a pattern, it's no longer a coincidence, that it is on purpose. And I suggest to you that this is that. And what I can do in this hour is to try to expose myself to as many people as would hear me, so that I can at least be among the warners, one of the messengers, one of the Rasuls. I don't want to alarm my people, but I have to be realistic, and we have to be practical. And above all, we have to be serious. I saw several pieces where they were citing yet again the numbers of our people who have not been vaccinated. I even saw this Alex Jones demon who was saying that black people aren't as dumb as these globalists think they are, and some 70-something% of us is the alleged number that have not given in to this poison. Then I look around the world and I see what's happening in different continents and nations. Certainly we all know what's happening in Australia and Canada. It's full-on fascism in Canada and Australia now. I even saw in Russia, where they literally were going into people's houses and holding them down. But then at the same time, you have entities like this demon that runs this platform I'm on now, trying to control the information, what you can talk about, and you're not allowed to think for yourself. If that's not the mark of a crime, I don't know what is. That's the mark of a crime. And indeed it is a crime, and language is important because they are part and parcel then by default and by extension to the deaths of many thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, either already or now or in the future, because knowledge is something that is necessary for humanity. We tell a child everything from the time they're born because they don't know anything at all. And they need this information to do everything. And we don't ever stop. We need information in a society, in a world. We need information so that we know, even if it's just the weather, we want to know that. You have to be informed to make decisions, and certainly in this hour, information is important. When they talk about informed consent on anything, I mean, that's a legal term. When you talk about informed consent, that's like if you're just getting a kidney transplant, they come in and they want you to sign an informed consent form because they want you to know you could croak and die. And just so we wanted to just holler at you so that you would know, that's informed consent. But what they're seeking to do is to give you a heart transplant not tell you you're getting a heart transplant, and not give you a informed consent form to sign. They want to just give you the anesthesia and knock you out and give you the heart transplant. That's essentially what we're dealing with right here. That's what we're dealing with. It is diabolical. It is evil. It is specious. It is the level of evil and demonry and Satanism at a level that I think most of humanity cannot comprehend. But as I always tell you, everything begins, everything, nothing just becomes, everything has a pathology. So when you think about big lies, you know, certainly with us, everything is a lie for our people. Everything is a lie. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, and those of you who don't, you should follow me on Instagram, because sometimes it's valuable, because I'm able to share things with you in real time. If I'm going to share something with you on here, I have to come and do a video, or I have to come and be live or something. I don't have any way to just send something to you. So you should follow me on Instagram. I'm the Jedi 1814. Why that is because you can't see everything that's on Instagram, and I can't either. So people share things with me, and I see something really important, I share it out to my people. And I saw Dr. Ben Ho something. He's a scholar, and another scholar, you know, and they were really going in on some of the history, going back to, I mean, the way they broke it down was something that is just, I think I put it in my, I made it a link and sent it to my phone and did a few things and blah, 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 blah. So I will try to maybe link it under this live stream after we're done. If there's somebody here that follows me on Instagram and you saw it and you can link it, then you can put it in the chat. That'll be fine. But I said that to say everything is a lie for us. Everything is a lie. So then outside of that, there's all these lies that deal with just us, the hiding of our history, denying who we are, you know, people taking our identity, and just becoming us, you know, on the fly and shit. You know, there's already that. And then on top of that, then you have the greater society. So you have things like, in the greater society, you would have things like, you know, the moon landing, you know, which didn't happen. That is a lie. But it's important to cite these things because they go to the psyche of the people, and how events like this, you will see many, many videos, all the stuff I just cited, you'll see articles, you'll see people talking about it, but you see nobody doing anything. Nobody doing anything. If there was ever an hour that there should just be neighborhood by block of just regular people that don't even know each other, just gathering with their arms, their rifles and their pistols and whatever else they got to get prepared to strike against their tyrannical government, this is the time. All this speculation, and do you see what they're doing? And even I'm here saying something big is coming, you know. Are we going to talk about it, or are we going to do something about it? But I digress. So when they give you things like the moon landing, and now technology and information has expanded to a level that is sucked out of their reach. Make no mistake, they still control it. But it has now become a bigger animal, and so it's like with anything, you know, you pick up a handful of rice, some of them grains gonna get out your hand. They just are. They just are. You get an ants, you know, you may spray the ants, but one ant gonna get away some kind of way. You couldn't get them all. So that the information has become too accessible now. So they're not able to defend big lies anymore, like the moon landing. They've given up, you know. They even said that their answer now to how come you haven't been back to the moon is because we lost the telemetry data, and we don't have it. Like thousands and thousands. This isn't like, you know, one little, you know, SD card or something. We're talking about thousands of big ass, but they lost it, and it would take too much to reproduce that technology. There's enough in this damn phone to launch the space shuttle, but we don't have it to send to go back to the moon again. We just don't have it. We wish we did. We wish we had it. We damn it. There's that lie. Then they lie to you about the very place where you exist, on this place called Earth. It has caused me to even question one of our most eminent scholars of Islam on the topic of the structure of the earth. And I war with this because this brother says and continues to claim, and has forever since I've ever known him, and he's someone who is respected at the highest eminence, that, and he gives prophecy and he cites the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he arrives at ostrich egg. Well, I'm still not buying that even. I say that the earth is a flat surface laid out the way Allah says to us in the Quran, that He has laid out the earth far and wide like a carpet. When the Quran speaks of this, it's speaking in terms of conflict, that you don't need to dwell in a place with anyone or anything. You can just get away. Like, I made the earth big enough, bounce. But when the divine speaks, it's more than just that, and you have to know the words that don't exist in English. The concepts, some of the concepts, were the way that the divine speaks. If you could read the Quran, you would know that that's not something that is vocal. It just only speaks to the heart, the soul. This is what makes it a miracle. And divinity, it's like nothing else. It's like nothing else. So, but in that, there's wisdom also on this topic. But more than that, we have, or with that I should say, or under that, we also have more evidence of a flat earth than we have of anything else. You know, there's no model of the earth that can be made where you're going to use real water and it sticks to the ball. Like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And water always finds a level plane to settle. That's what's real. Before we had the microscopes or telescopes that they have now, it used to look like boats disappeared over the plane on a curve. But now we have these amazing zoom lenses that you just zoom in, you go, oh, there's the boat, it's still there. It's not gone over anything, it's right there. You know, cities that you thought were over, that must be where the earth curves, and oh, you can't. Now you just zoom and you go, oh, it's right there, it's straight across. It's just that your sight ends at some point, as far as you can see, and there's not a greater optical thing on the earth than the human eye. Yet we don't have zoom like that for just the naked eye. You know, even when it comes to a microscope, we can't see stuff that's too small with just the naked eye. You need something else to assist to see that little damn amoeba. Like, oh, there it is, you know. And such is the case when you see something that's too far in the distance. You know, your vision can only go so far. So these things now are harder to cover and to lie about, but it affects humanity, because when people begin to understand, if all at once people realize, oh, we really do live on a flat earth under a firmament, just like it says in the scriptures, the Christian scriptures of all things. Where's my punch? When you realize that we're all here, then you realize, whoa, something else is going on. And oh my God, there's definitely a creator. And then these big lies of God coming as a man, or sending his son and dying for all humanity, you start to realize, nah, that's really is some bullshit. Wait. When you realize, when you hear them talk about, you know, we can only, now they say you can only go into low Earth orbit because we haven't found the technology to get to the moon and Mars and beyond. Well, because I thought you went to the moon back in the 60s. Pretty sure. I'll just look it up to see. I thought you guys had a moon landing. Maybe I was wrong because I don't sleep well and I forget things and I hear stuff. When was the moon landing? Oh my God, it says it was 1969. It says it right there. It says it. It says there was a moon landing. It says it. Except there wasn't. And now it's too big to cover that up. So when you think about that big lie, they broadcast that across the television. When you think about the Earth, when you think about you're not allowed, like every country on Earth has agreed you cannot go to Antarctica. They've broken every treaty ever known to humanity. Countries do it all the time. They're doing it as I speak. But this is the one thing they all agree on. No going to Antarctica. You can't. You're not allowed. How have you decided there's a place on Earth where I can't go? How did you decide that? And what's there? Why can't I go? And if you go, it's definitely worse than getting a damn passport or a visa, I promise you. You have to go, it has to be for scientific reasons only, and you have to, and you will go with a very heavy escort of military personnel, etc. So one questions, if it's, we all know the story of the boy who cried wolf. He came to the village and he cried, "There's a wolf," and everybody ran, and it was a crisis. And then they realized there is no wolf. So eventually they just didn't believe him. And then one day there really was a wolf and nobody listened because you'd lied so many times. Why should we believe you now? In this case, this is elements of the wolf, but we have to augment the story to have it match what I feel to be reality. There is a wolf, damn it. And there's been a wolf. But what we must understand is this wolf is desperate now. If they will lie to an entire species, and it's collusive because there's other nations who have claimed that they went to the moon. There's other nations that are claiming they go into space. And they've sent Mars rovers, and so there's a collusion. So now how big is the picture? Who is the they and how big are they now? What we can be sure of is that there's less of them than all of us. That we can be sure of. Cabals are usually very tight-knit. And anytime you're doing any colluding and scheming, the fewer people involved, the better. You understand? It always kills me when you tell people about 9/11 and they go, well, there have to be a lot of people involved. No, there wasn't. There doesn't need to be. I proved that. But more than that also, I also like to use the example of the dropping of the 2 atom bombs on Japan, because there was thousands of people that worked on that technology but had no idea what they were building. The very pilot that dropped the damn bomb didn't know what he was carrying. And that brings me to this, because in all of this hand-wringing and the they of it all, the solution is very simple. 2 things. A, get out. B, get out. C, get out. D, if you're not going to get out, then you must be ready to fight and die. Because none of this that they are trying to do can be carried out without you and me. So since I've been on Earth, I never accepted the phrase, "I'm just doing my job." That doesn't work for me. Because you immediately turn yourself into some robot without a soul. I'm just doing my job. You're not a machine, or are you? So, I would give you a basic example. I was at Walmart one time, and they suddenly had a sign up in the self-checkout that it was, I don't know, 5 items or some dumb number. There was nobody in the store, y'all. It was a weird thing. It was, I don't know what time of day it was. Just there was nobody in the store. It was still day. And I got in the line. And the chick comes over. There was only like one person in front of me or two people. And the little pinche Latina comes over and says, you have too many items. And she's pointing at the sign. I said, I know you're going to tell me you're just doing your job, but you're supposed to have some damn common sense too. So there's nobody here. There's not like there's a rush on this lane and oh my God, I'm holding up the entire store. There's nobody here. Nobody. And I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to go all the way in on her because the dude was like, "Oh, it's fine. Come on, it's fine." Now that's what I need, but that's what we all need. So we can't have police that are just doing their job. We can't have doctors that are just doing their job and nurses that are just. This is that's a fight word right now. I'm just doing my job could probably just get you murdered off right now. You feel me? And I was just doing my job. You feel me? I was just doing my job. You feel me? You kirked and I kirked off. So I was just doing what I had to do. But I saw this fat bitch a few days or last week or whenever it was here in California. I don't know what city or where, but she's head of some medical something. Just like she's not the CEO. You could tell she's just like the bitch in charge some kind of way. And you know, there was all these nurses and medical workers that were picketing and like, no, we're not, you know, our body, our choice. And there she was on camera with this dismissive, I think she got a kick out of it. You could tell she's a fat bitch. Nobody's interested in her. She ain't had no dick in probably her entire life, quite frankly. No offspring. And there was, I read her entire oeuvre, and I wanted to punch her in her face. But she is indicative of what I'm talking about right now. And not just me punching in her face, but somebody should get to her and drag the bitch till she's bald. You understand? Because those are the people that are dangerous. When I was a child, whenever I began to hear about Hitler, I still hold this to this day. Whenever I hear about Hitler, I don't want to hear about Hitler. Name me somebody that worked for Hitler. And nobody can give me a name. Nobody can give me a name. All right, you tell me about concentration camps. Tell me who guarded them. Give me one name, just even one name in any year, at any time. Doesn't matter what age they are. Just one. Okay, just even a first name, because you don't have to know the whole thing. Okay, a nickname, fine. Nothing. Nothing. Still nothing. All right, we'll just go with Hitler then, because that's what it's going to be now. Biden is doing, they are doing. Who the fuck is they? Because you got to be able to identify somebody you can punch in the neck. You feel what I'm telling you? You got to be able to identify somebody that you could stab in the damn neck and say, not here, bitch, not here, not here, not right here. So by default, it becomes an us and them. They're already trying to fan the flames of the unvaccinated and the vaccinated, you see. Well, sadly, the vaccinated are finding out some very bad things now. And misery loves company, so many of them are trying to shame us into, you know, being as reckless and feckless as them. Misery loves company. You know, when I was very young, I was just a child, and my grandmother didn't let me stay up late as a rule, but sometimes I could sweeten her up, you know, like, please, Graham, can I stay up? Can I stay up? And, you know, if it was like a horror movie, something like that, you know, she got, no, because you ain't gonna want to go to bed. I'll go to bed, I promise. And sure enough, when it would be over, and then, you know, my older siblings could stay up a little later than me, you know, and it's time for me to go to bed. Now I start my little act. my brother, they just call him Junior, but I'd be like, June, you gotta come to bed too. I'm standing over there, my little pissy ass. You gotta come to bed too. My grandmother, get your ass, get your ass, get your ass. But you gotta go to bed too. You feel me? Because now I'm scared. I don't want to go to the. I don't want. I don't want to go to bed by myself. So you gotta go to bed too. This is that. You know, you gotta get the vaccine too. That's what they're essentially saying. I fucked up, so you need to fuck up too. No, bitch. You jumped out there trying to be as though, and now you as though. You feel me? Like, that's what you get. That's what you get. Like, that's your choice. We're not mad, but that's what you get. You see. And shame on the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the YouTubes of the world. And I say that empty because these are people without a soul. So there can't be shame. Shame implies that there can be guilt. And you can't, that's a human emotion. These are demons. Therefore, there can be no shame or guilt. You understand? You have to know what you're dealing with. And you got to be clear about it. But you got to be clear about what you gonna do. What you gonna do. Like I used to tell you when I was trying to preach liberation and revolution. What we gonna do. Everybody wants to send you a video about somebody else that's been, you know, fucked up by the police, or look what they did. Ooh. Okay, so what we gonna do? That's what they did. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? And if we not gonna do shit, then I don't want to have nothing to do with it. But in this hour, this is that and then some, I think is the best way to say it. Because whatever their end is, you know, we can talk about, it's depopulation, but for what? We have to have an answer for that. You know, for any proclamation or hypothesis on anything, especially a hypothesis, you have to be able to answer that hypothesis for yourself. That why? Because that is where the revelation is. Indeed, that's where the naked truth is. And that is where the best, you're going to have the best opportunity to gauge what your response needs to be. You know? For why? Because, or sometimes you can get to the finish line before they get there. Oh, I know what your ass trying to do. Let me beat you at your own game real quick. You see? Either way, you need to know why. We see that Bill Gates, who I don't understand how just because you have money and a fucking computer software company, you become some leader and a dictator and shit and deciding policy and shit. It's a magic act. It's a magic act. It's nothing less than a magic act. There he was in 2015 saying, oh, you know, a mass threat to civilization isn't going to come like this, and he shows a picture of a nuclear explosion. It's not gonna, it'll come more like this, and he shows a fucking coronavirus. It'll be in the form of a highly contagious virus, says this fucker, who only can get a female. He don't get no female. Just his money get him a female. That's it. That's not that. You don't get no female. You don't get that. You don't get none. You don't. You don't. He's the epitome. He is the quintessence of white maleness. No swag, nothing desirable, just mediocrity at its fullest. I don't know if he even had a regular job ever in his life. You see? But they can get lucky in the society with things. Oh, we're supposed to look at Elon Musk like he's some brilliant dude. Again, another one can't get no female. Can't get nothing. These were the dorky, cast out kids they still are. You was ugly as fuck from day one when that you said wah. You still ugly as fuck now. You understand? A disaster, disaster. Garbage in, garbage out. But they have stolen, technology and knowledge from our people to attain these positions. Remember, it was a black man who came up with the gigabyte. Why you don't have to have a room full of shit to store information now is because of a black man. You see. So the theft goes on, just like we gave them language, and then you have Socrates and all these other fucking people and Plato all come. Oh, it was me. I was the great thinker, and Einstein and all the shit, and all those people learned from Africans. That's what's real. That's just it. So they appear in modern day, even Richard Branson, the virgin dude, who, I don't know what's happening over there at that address. But again, these are just white fuckers who didn't have to worry about fucking police brutality and the color of their skin every day to do shit. And they had a leg up financially, and they had community to some degree. And this is how they've arrived. These are not brilliant people. This is why Bill Gates can stand on stage and everybody go, oh my God, Bill Gates is speaking. And they sit there and really just get involved and really just invested, like as if he's Moses the lawgiver, blessing you with some divine gift and shit. And none of that is true. This is a nobody in a fucking sweater that's ugly as fuck, can I add? Know what's in front of you. And Elon Musk looks like that dude that set off firecrackers in the bathroom or some bullshit. There's nothing brilliant about these people. They're seen as brilliant, but they're not. And to the scholar, Dr. Ben I don't know his name now. I love when he talked about, and I know this, but I love how he talked about how, on the same thought, that Gandhi, was went to school in Great Britain and all that, and he was indeed rejected by the Indian people when he first came back to India. Like, oh, you think you're the most now? You understand? You're not talking like us. You're not dressing like us. We ain't really feeling you. We just not. And he had to make some personal changes. Okay, I'm only going to wear clothing that is made here in India, and that's just what I'm going to do. And he had to really prove himself to his people again, Well, was he brilliant? I say any man, I'm with Malcolm on this. I say any man, just like we're supposed to believe that Dr. King was brilliant. Dr. King erred on brilliance. I have to say that. At the very least, his vocabulary was most impressive. But as Malcolm said, because they spoke to the head, Malcolm spoke to my heart. And Malcolm said, it is criminal for any man to tell a people who are under violent, savage attack to be nonviolent. That alone, I'll wash his feet for that. That speaks to common sense even. It doesn't just speak to my soul and my heart. It speaks to my humanity. It speaks to just what would be authentic for even a 3-year-old. Do you understand? So why is this all amassing now? Why? And apparently they forget that people have cell phones and you can text and all that stuff now, and you can email. So apparently nobody's supposed to do that. Apparently nobody's doing that because you can't talk about to their language. We'll just read their language to refresh our knowledge, because you can talk about this shit all day long. Do you understand? You just have to read the fine print. What am I looking for? Because when I remember when they claimed they had approved the vaccine, I called bullshit on it. I still do. I will continue to. But they took my video down because what? Um, yeah, I've screenshotted it on here. Screenshot. Because they say this is their language. YouTube doesn't allow claims about COVID vaccinations that contradict expert consensus, which all the fucking experts are giving you conflicting reports every goddamn day. One day they say it's fine, the next day we don't have the data, I mean, they're all over the place. But so if anybody's conflicting, it's their bitch ass, or contradicting, but doesn't allow claims about the COVID vaccination that contradicts expert consensus. There is no consensus, bitch. From local health or authorities, there's no comma, interestingly, from local health authorities or the World Health Organization. In other words, if it didn't come from the fork-tongued liars, then it's not valid. You're not allowed to think on your own. So even when you see the white bitch that's clearly got blood vessels exploded in her mouth from having the bullshit, you can't form an opinion about that because the World Health Organization or local authorities didn't say it. And they're all experts in virology and all things amazing and smart. Fuck you and the bitch that gave birth to you, bitch. Die off. But again, I come back to why? Why? I feel it's too lazy to say it's just, depopulation. Because there are so many vast expanses of the earth where there's nobody. Like, just nobody. And not even across the earth, just you go across this country and you see that there are, like if you travel across country, you one of these people that has only flown, you should die off. But if you're one of these people who have only flown, you don't know there's literally hundreds and hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, I'll just say hundreds, but where there's just nothing but open road. Nothing going on. No town, nobody, no houses, nothing. And that's just this one little fucking country. So it seems too cheap, really, to say it's depopulation. Do I think this? I think that regardless of the population, if you have a populace of people who are critical of you, who scrutinize you, who hold their power and say, no, you work for me, and there's more of me than you, do the fuck I tell you, and you're diabolical, then, it's kind of like somebody who doesn't want to be told what to do. People that just don't want to be told what to do just because they just don't want to be told what to do. Even if you're telling them the right thing, like it's, a kid, clean your room, and they just blow up because you told them to clean their fucking room that you're paying the rent on even. But that's another thing. Like, you mad because I told you to clean your room? Now I got to bust you in your grill because your reaction is, it gets into an area with me, but so take me out of it. But I'm just trying to say, it's got to be greater than just depopulation. It's got to be something more. But I suggest to you something that I have highlighted for you over the years I've been on here. I started hearing it when Bush became president. This is the first time I started hearing this phrase, leader of the free world. That just never could get past me. Because it's exactly not. That's like I'm looking at something that's red, you telling me it's blue. That's not going to get past me. Wait, y'all didn't hear that? And nobody's saying shit? Then you add that to nobody saying shit about Antarctica either. Do y'all agree that he's leaving the free world? For all the dust up that, ooh, Putin is doing this and he's doing that. Nobody's ever said Putin told you to shut the fuck about this leader of the free world shit. Or anybody else, quite frankly. Very concerning. Very concerning. But this is a time to not just sit and be wooed by the next deep conspiracy and, ooh, the unfolding thereof. You need to look in the mirror and say, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm not waiting on this shit. I need to get out. I need to do what I need to do for me. That's what you're going to need to do, everybody. That's what you're going to need to do. Because we are at critical mass right now. And whatever their reasonings are, we know that their actions are diabolical. You have a vaccine that you can't know what's in it. You don't have informed consent. You literally at the pharmacy, they admit this. You know, usually in medicine, there's a thing that, you know, tells you all the shit. Nothing. It's blank. You can't have any legal recourse. I mean, like, what? We're not supposed to ask questions? Really, bitch? Like, that's just like somebody knocking on your door right now. Right now. And saying, here, eat this. You never saw them ever in your life. They don't even live in your neighborhood. Here, eat this. Be like, bitch, if you don't get out of my face. If the bitch got that far. That's a dead bitch if it's me. That's a dead bitch. So we're not going to insert me because, excuse me. But this is that. Here, eat this. The military, we're seeing headlines. The military is being given deadlines of when they have to take it. But very glaringly, the NFL won't be mandating. Weak ass Negroes, slave ass bitch niggas. You understand? That's the real LGBT. Let us understand. That's the real one. You understand? Because they could have such an impact. Such an impact. But they're never going to mandate that. Here you would mandate the military, but not the NFL or the NBA, one of them. Might be both of them. Think about the military you gonna mandate, but not motherfuckers that play with a ball and each other's balls. That's something else. No problem with that. And why? Again, why? Why? Because these ones distract you. These other ones, we use them to just do their job when we need to put the fucking National Guard on the street, or when we're bringing in battalions of shit. You understand? They don't really matter while we tell them thank you for your service and shit. I mean, it's glaring, dude. Like, one thing you need to do, another thing you need to do, I haven't said this already, you need to make sure that you're armed, everybody. Fuck gun permits and all the bullshit. Like, by hook or by crook, you need to have you some fucking hardware. And you need to be very well acquainted and get married to that. It's that time now. Not like it's coming and, oh my God, you know, like you don't have no time. You already missed the train, so you need to act now. You need to act now. You need to act now. Hold up, y'all. I want to turn this air off because I really can't hear myself. And I need to, so I need to turn the air off. And I'll be back. How long have I yacked already? Okay. Because I want to get to my other topics. as well. Um, wait now. Oh yeah, chat. Uh, Betsy, shout out to you, Queen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for support. Terrence Bowers, thank you for being here, my brother. I appreciate you. Red Dre, shout out to you. Andrea Smith, thank you for being here. CJ Stevenson, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Um, yes, and do hit the thumbs up. Well, we're almost there. We've got 3 people, 4 people. Everybody that's watching me, take a moment to smash the like button. Everybody, hit the thumbs up. It's bad enough I'm a shadow ban channel and all that. Just help your brother out as much as you can. You understand what I'm telling you? So hit the like button. You didn't remember, and now I told you. And we're all adults, and so go ahead and do it. Andrea, what do you think about the Haitians right now in Mexico? I didn't know about it. I don't know about it. Stephanie Gerald, shout out to you. Cheryl, my queen, shout out to you. And thank you for being here. Corindo, thank you for the thumbs up. Um, Swift Play, shout out to you. A new name that I don't recognize. Oh, damn it. It couldn't just fall. It had to go under the chair, dude. Blood of Jesus. The drama. Where was I? What did I say? Swift Play. Shout out to you, brother. Um, One person. No, we're good. Corindo to Betsy. Corindo, they are using federal troops. I'm having issues with my scarf too, y'all. I think it's a little too tight in this region. They are using federal troops to evict folks. Wow. Corindo, was that you that asked me? Let me see if I can find that damn question. No, maybe I don't know. Let me look. That was asking me about do I think that economic equity or equality is important. Um, oh man. Of course, I'm not going to find it now because that's not possible. Devils, Jedi. This might be it. Um, no, that was you, Corindle, about the. I told you I didn't understand what you typed me. That you needed to tell me something because I didn't know what I read. Okay, I don't remember who it was. All right, that's fine. Um, I'll find it. I'll be looking for it later, and I'll find it immediately. Watch. You know, just try to keep things moving. Um, I don't know where I'm at now. Um, who did I shout out? I think it was Cheryl Correndo Swift Play. That's what it was. Andrea to Betsy Correndo, the federal troops. Um, Anjane 23. Shout out to you, my queen. And by the way, Anjane, I don't know if you were here already, but one of the I saw it was in your where you at. I saw I don't know how close it was to where you at, but it was where you at though. And it was these damn military brigades and shit going through there. Um, Black and Boogie. Exactly. You have the right to speak anything but the truth. Yeah, apparently. You know, as long as you're lying, you're good. But don't think for yourself and at all cost, don't tell the truth. That's not allowed. No truth allowed, everybody. No truth. And indeed, it's always the first casualty. You understand what I mean? Truth is always the first casualty. Anjane, did you say they were going to homes, holding people down and forcing? Yep, I saw that in Russia. And then here in this country, I saw somebody filming, but I couldn't verify it because you have to be very careful. That's what I was trying to say in my opening. You have to be very careful because you have people that are overreacting, you have people that are taking little pieces and running, and you could be very uninformed. So an example of that is I saw how I vet things. I saw, somebody was there was some vans and somebody was going to doors, but it wasn't close enough to see who was going to doors. So I can't, I don't have enough there, to buy into that. Ooh, they're going door to door, here. I just don't have it. But yes, that's what I said. And Sweet D, thank you for being here. Evelyn, walaikum salam, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for being here. Um, uh, Sweet D, the lies they tell. Grant Bennett, don't get vexed. Precisely. Uh, Grant, man never landed on the moon. It's a damn fact. No moon landing. No moon landing. And no scarf. What is going on? You would think I would have these down by now. I've been wearing these forever, my whole life. And but it's never the same every time. Um, Black and Boogie, this man been spitting the truth for years. Gives me the chills. Wow, I'm honored by that. Um, you go on. A lot of people just did their job at that be at that behest of other human beings. Fix that. Yeah, it's very maddening. I even hate, and this is how dumbed down the society is, because you will say you're gonna know this is, so as I said, you're gonna go, I know, right? When you have these people, you'll have the police on the scene doing something to one of our people, and you got all invariably you have that one ass nigga that's, I mean, I ain't got no problem with y'all. I know y'all just doing y'all job. So now I gotta kill them and you. So you just making more work for me. You feel me? That's more work. Um, Black and Boogie, thank you. You're welcome. um, Corindel, Himmler, Jo Joachim. That's who I'm trying to think of. Corindel, thank you for your interactiveness. I appreciate that. Um, yes, and then you go on. You give me all the receipts. Von, I'm not gonna say them because I can't. Albert and Don's. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Richard Hart, shout out to you and thank you for being here. Here in the UK, Richard D. Hall, who owns and operates the Rich Planet TV website, had a Neil Armstrong interview significantly analyzed, and according to the result, the man did not go on the moon. And not only that, there's this dude, he's perfect, the White Devil. He literally goes around with his Bible, but some people, their character is well appointed for something. I call it classic. When you see somebody do something that is so classic, that is classic. Like, this was that. Because he just his tone of voice that God has given him. No, he's a white devil. He's not created by God. Oh, where's my punch? Wait, I'm getting myself all twisted in a knot now. I can't go on. I'm suggesting facts, not in evidence. Move to strike. But he's ran up on Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and everybody else. He goes, now you say that you went to the moon. I have a Bible here now, and he's tall, he's country, he's perfect. In fact, I think it was Buzz Aldrin that punched him. You can go watch the video. He punched him because he just shows up at their house or wherever they at speaking and shit. And like you claim you walked on the moon. Would you put your left hand on this Bible and raise your right hand and swear that you? You would think it would just, yeah, I did it. You told that big of a lie. Should be nothing for you to just put your hand on the Bible and lie some more. Not really understanding the hesitancy there. Not just really, just not understanding. Black and Boogie, right? Why is this happening? Is the question precisely, and this is what we're analyzing here. Red Dre and Bill all of a sudden becomes a biologist and specializing in anatomy. I know, right? It's sickening. And we're going to Bill Gates now. He's, what you're going to have is you're going to have so and where's the fucking glasses? Wait, I think I have Uncle's glasses Uncle gave me. You're going to see, oh wait, God damn it. I can't because of my scarf. Oh wait. Just fuck it. Just imply glasses in this scene. And what you're going to have is you're going to have so-and-so. And you're going to have that molecular structure going. And you're going to have, and it's always just here up. Like we never see the bitch just, like it's always, like that's on purpose, dude. He's only just from here up and shit. You see more of me now than you see of him. Say I'm lying. Like that's on purpose. Why, again, we ask, but there he is, the lawgiver of everything, and he knows it all. And, so apparently if you have money, you become like a fucking oracle and shit. Not because you went to school, because you have your knowledge, just because you have money, you become an oracle. You just do. You money oracle, that you're done. Very good point. Who was that, Red Dre? Who made that point? I just was there. Oh yeah, Red Dre. Yeah, good point. Right and Boogie, or Black and Boogie. Right? How because you're a billionaire now you know about health and get to tell people what to do? Right. Celestin Leo. Sake fet au mis. You just jacked me up. I will kill myself now. Sweet D. Ibama. You're typing on a keyboard and you hit the I instead of the O. Am I right? These are the fingers. Ibama said the same thing years before this pandemic. And interesting, I saw someone making the point that indeed, when the swine flu had come about, that was this whatever it was I was watching was alleging that was the original, was supposed to be the incarnation of this bullshit now, but that it didn't go through, and so now here they come. You feel me? I don't know. Black and Boogie, he just rich and smart with no soul. We reject smart. Rich we have to acknowledge, but smart not so much. Sandra B, shout out, or no, Samira. I like that. Samira B, shout out to you. Anjane, facts Jedi. Everyone in the United States can actually fit inside of Texas. I looked it up. So, what's the real problem? We're dealing with the devil. They want to be God. They do. And I suggest that one of the reasons for this globe Earth is for the purpose of division, at least certainly one of its byproducts. Like, oh look, we're so, because if you think you're on a globe, then you don't think of yourself. Think about how your behavior when you go to a convention, or even when you were a kid and you went to like the lunchroom, or everybody's reading in the auditorium for an assembly. People from other classes you don't even know, you suddenly feel a certain type of something, like, oh, we all in here type thing, that. So if you have this understanding that we are more connected geographically, because I don't buy into this, we're all connected. We're more like than we are. Make me vomit. So I'm speaking of geographics. All right. Um, I think it has a certain effect on the psyche, and by extension the society and its behavior. You understand? It's harder to leave that man over there sleeping outside the supermarket. A little tougher. Um, Black and Boogie. Free worlds don't have leaders. Ah, that's so simple and perfect. The leader of the free world, right? You wouldn't need. That's I. You're. I. We can all go home now, everybody. We've seen the Oracle of Brilliance, and we have arrived. Thank you for that contribution, Black and Boogie. Corindle, I am unfortunately in Yuma, and you did mention something about Yuma in another thing. And in the past 2 months, they are building like crazy. The temperature is going up extremely high, and our water supply is in short supply. I also saw a sister who was saying that apparently people that get food stamps are getting some huge increases and things like this. I gotta go do something with this, y'all. I feel like I'm about to have an aneurysm. Sisters know what I'm talking about. and now I hate it. But at least I'm more comfortable. So that's the most important thing. Um, let's see. Sweet D, we might as well bleach, like Trump said. You are killing it. You go on to say athletes are $40 million slaves. Check out the book, and I could even get. As soon as you know, like I was about to say that before I even saw you wrote it. When you when I when I got to athletes are $40 million slaves, I was about to say, and there's I'm keep on and you so you know, but for those of you who don't know, there's literally a book called The $40 million Slave, right? Um, and I feel like D, it was highlighted what was it was it Jet Magazine or somebody that highlighted the book or something? Was it Spike? I don't know. Anyways, Black and Boogie, they might as well. NFL players are sheep anyway. Yeah, big disappointment, dude. But like we've gotten no value out of any of these brothers in any of these sports at all. There's no kings, dude. No warriors. Nobody representing and signifying. We don't have nobody. You have to go back to find Tommy Smith and John Carlos, Muhammad Ali. You feel me? Back in the day, Jim Brown's bitch ass before he bitched out, and others, like it's just not that. It just don't have that. You don't have it, and I can't. Corindo, why are people fleeing to the areas that do not have the resources to support them? They said the power grid is going to fail during the heat. During the heat, people will die. Well, I'll tell you this, um, that's one of the things people need to learn to do. Even here, I've tried to influence my audience over the years. Like during the winter time, there's a lot of times you see me sitting up here in videos, and I have on scarves and coats and hoodies. I got a thermostat. I could just turn my heat on, but you need to put yourself in that space so that you can understand those that are in that space, but it's also beneficial for you should you be in that space one day. You know, this is very essential. So you need to go without power, and you need to use candlelight, and you need to learn how to make a fire and things like that. So you can just do the basics. We're so propped up as a species now. We don't know how to do anything on our own. That's why we're so fat and lazy, especially in this country. You know, like I marvel at the men in Africa. I've no video have I ever seen of anything from Africa. Have I seen a like a 24-hour fitness? I'm sure they probably have them someplace. I mean, I don't know, but you don't see this. But yet all the men, even the boys, are fucking shredded, chiseled, ripped. No matter how thin or how thick they might be, they're just solid. That's from their lifestyle. Their hands are the quality of their hands is a tool that God gave you to use for stuff. There's nothing more dexterous than the human hand. Nothing can imitate it. You could do anything. Like sometimes I'm coming out of my car. I got grocery bags. I'm trying to close the garage down, but I'm holding my lock and my key in the nut. I'm multi fucking doing it. Just these are magic. Do you understand? Magic. They are magic. They are magic. They're magic. And you see these brothers using that. The women and the dudes, but primarily you see the women, how they can just carry huge plates of shit just on their head, walking down crowded streets like there's a societal respect. Like nobody's gonna just knock you over just for a laugh. That would only happen in this society or someplace with devils. I've never seen you can walk with dignity and they just with a bunch of shit and there they go. You see the women doing that. It's one of the reasons why I seek the continent, because If you're going to live a real human existence, this, you're never going to have it here. Probably the closest you could come is you have to just go off the grid and live somewhere in the fucking, you know, Sahara someplace. Burrow you out a cave or something. Um, you go on, Corindle, to say, nope, good question, but not me. We are studying in public health wealth. We are studying in public wealth health. In public health equals wealth. Did I get that right, Corindle? Um, Black and Boogie, laugh out loud. It's pronounced bougie, brother. What did I say? What did I say? Oh, your name is pronounced bougie. Black and bougie. What was I saying? Boogie? Thank you for that. My bad. Black and bougie. You could tell I'm not bougie. I don't see that word very often. And I'm a man with a very large vocabulary, but I just didn't recognize that. Um, Wealth equals health, Corindle, you're saying. Yes. Well, health equals wealth, but you're saying wealth equals health. Ah, I get it. Yes. 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 And sadly, it does in this nation. Um, I want to say something else about this too. Is that, by the way, you guys, these are my little um, fucking linen pants that I'm wearing. They're kind of like genie pants almost, but they a little bit more involved in that. This is so comfortable, dude. Like I prescribe this for all the brothers. I most myself when I dress like this. Like I don't like dressing any other way, you know, random. But anyway, we're seeing um, some positives. I am signs of positive, but for me, nothing is until it is, you know. And who was it that said everything seems? It was Mandela. Was it Mandela? Everything seems impossible until it's done. It's shade, it's wisdom, it's a few things all at once. That's why it's one of my favorite quotes. Everything seems impossible until it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's right up there with, uh, to use a Star Wars metaphor, when Luke, I think it was Return of the Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back. I think it was Empire Strikes Back, where Luke goes to see Yoda to train. He's like, I'm here looking for a Jedi Master, and Yoda's like, look, found one you have or something. Anyways, there's a scene where the X-wing fighter is in the swamp. He's supposed to use the Force to raise this out of the fucking swamp. He's standing there, he's doing the thing, and you see the water bubble a little bit, and he's really, and then he, which I never understand why white people are always breathing hard when they haven't done any running or any calisthenics, nothing athletic, and there's all this breathing. Not understanding it, but whatever. But there he was. Uh, he goes, I can't do it. It's impossible. I can't do it. And then Yoda gets up, does the thing, stand there all Yoda-fied, fucking raises the big ass several 100,000 ton fucking thing out, floats it over to the shore, sits it down, and Luke goes over to it. He's walking around touching it like just incredulous, like, and then he goes back over Yoda. He goes, I don't believe it. Greatest line ever. That is why you failed. Perfect. They could have just ended the movie there and handed it 4 Oscars. It was everything. Nothing else to say. That is why you failed. You see? So this is that. Like I give the metaphor for that. But I see some movement it's not really uh it's not collective. You have pockets of people, individuals, things like that. But sadly, white folks are going to be ready to move before we'd ever be ready to move. And then we're going to think that they're going to help us. What fantasy is this? It won't happen. You have to be ready right now, everybody. And as I open up with, you got to be ready. You need to start right now. Even if you don't want to watch the rest of this stream, you need to get off of here and start searching. Where can I go without a fucking passport that's not United States? Well, let's just find out since we're here. Because why not? What countries can I go to outside the United States without a passport? Five exotic places you can go without a U.S. passport: Puerto Rico, the island of Puerto Rico, an unincorporated territory of the United States. Quick, don't go there. All right. United States Virgin Islands, we're over that. Guam, don't do it. Northern Northern Mariana Islands and American Samoa. All right, strike all of that. Um, where can U.S. citizens travel without a passport? Let's click on that. There's a lot of talk of travel sites, a lot of talk on travel sites about the value of a U.S. passport. United States citizens, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Citizens can travel to any of the 50 states. I know that bitch. Um, the U.S. without a passport. People may sometimes confuse this because the land mass of the United States is so huge. Yet it is also one country. Blah, 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 48 contiguous states, even Hawaii, Canadian border. Anyways, that's your homework. You're going to look that up and find out where you can go without a passport. If you're someone listening to me that already has a passport, then you're obviously in a better position and you should be looking to see where the fuck you can go to get out of here, even if you don't want to go to Africa. That's the most important thing I could say to you. Get out. Get out. It's not a movie. It's real. Get out. 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 Um, um, hydrogen. Hydrogen one. Shout out to you. I love how you appreciate Asian culture. I do. And I'll just tell you that, um, back when I was in college, I started out with one Asian lamp that's in my living room, battery full. We love that. And I just start building from that, you know. I appreciate it because it feels like me. And then I come to find that, the Asians are really Africans. So that fits. But it's also, I tell brothers, like it's a motif that is masculine. Um, it's inexpensive, very inexpensive. You can look like you spent a lot of money for nothing at all. Um, I that umbrella is probably $1, or somebody may have given it to me, because people give me stuff, over the years and stuff like that. But thank you. Yes, I do appreciate Asian culture very much. Um, and it's not just a motif. I really do appreciate Asian culture. Their sense of discipline and education is most impressive to me. Education and discipline and tradition. If I could just give three, education, discipline, tradition. That's Asia. Corindo, yes. Money more in US money is more important to health, not access to health insurance or doctor's visits. Sure, you need health care, but health starts way before there's a problem. It really does. And that's what we don't do in this country. It's not about that. You go on. You made me look Canada and Mexico. Okay. Well, no, you would want to go to Mexico, obviously, because Canada is the fucking Gestapo right now. And I can tell you that my girl, y'all hear me call her out sometimes here, Fashionista or Supreme Goddess Nani. She's in Mexico right now. She just took a trip down there. Um, Today, literally today, was when she was supposed to be leaving, and I was feeling bad because we spoke. I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and I said, you know, we'll definitely speak before you leave on Saturday, and then I didn't. So literally, it's today. Hydrogen, dude, how are you this old and still don't know how international travel works? Who? Virgin Islands. Correndo says Virgin Islands and American Samoa, which I read on that list right there. Yeah. Um, so there's places you can go without a passport, but you're gonna need, if you can get if you someone that has a passport, then you're in a better position. And like I say, just get out for now, and you know, just get out for now. Just get out now. If you can get out for like maybe this is may as well say it's October, November, December, January. You got 3 months before the new year. That's cute. So 3 months, get out. You understand? Some people are still on hiatus from their jobs and things like that. Find a body. You need to go into survival mode. You don't need me to tell you. Just think crisis and then figure out what you're going to do in that crisis. Because I'll tell you something. I've been in crisis. Like when we lived in Arkansas, when I was 12, and we had a hurricane or a tornado go right over our house. I've been through that. I've been through. Um, I was almost killed in the earthquake here in California in 1994, which I know was bigger than a 6.8 bitch because we were having 6.8 aftershocks. You don't have aftershocks greater than the fucking original quake. You understand? So if you have, but it goes to money because years before when they had the Northern California quake, they raised taxes on Southern California to help with earthquake relief. So it would have been reversed. They didn't want to do that. So they just downed if it's over a certain magnitude. So they just downed it. Our shit was at least a 8. At least. That's something else. Anyways, so I was always killed in that earthquake. Then um, I lived in Maryland during the DC sniper bullshit. I saw Lee Malvo and John Muhammad with these ojos grandes myself. I was working for Xerox. I was regional specialist. I had just come out. I was on Rockville Pike. For anybody that's in Maryland listening to me, I was on Rockville Pike, and I just come out of the Staples. Because anytime I had a Staples or Office Depot accounts and stuff like that, I usually establish relationships with the managers so that I don't have to wait till they open. I can go there like way before they open. I can just get all their machines, not just the one they called on. I can go and fix all the fucking machines because I don't want them calling me at all. I don't need you calling me. So I had just come out of Staples, and it was the June, just the time of morning where the sun just came up. Just it was still, that misty dew, and so I'm coming out to turn to my left to go to the light, but there was one car coming. We was looking for box trucks. We wasn't looking for cars. They told us it was a white box truck that these snipers had been seen in. There's 2 lanes. There's 4 lanes. So there's 2 lanes. So when this car comes by, they in the left lane. When they come by, I go out and get in the far right lane, and we go up to the light and stop. I look to my left. I got tinted windows on my Princess. They got tinted windows. But where the sun was just barely coming up and how it was, I could see Lee Malvo's big ass fucking afro. And they took off before I did when the light started. or when the light changed, and I saw the Jersey plates. Why that stood out is because the car that I had just before I bought my Princess had Jersey plates because the sister I bought it from you lived in Jersey, and that's what made one of the things that gave me confidence about buying the car because I'm like, if she go back and forth to Jersey, I should be good. So I saw the little hole in the back where they obviously stuck their. I saw these dudes, man, and even the day they were caught was one exit up. I used to get off on Route 1 to go to my house because I lived in Beltsville at this time. That next exit up is the fucking truck stop where they were fucking caught at. So I was one of the people out there ducking down when you get out your car to pump gas and walking in zigzags and shit. I've been through that. I'm just trying to say I've been through crisis and I've been homeless. So you need so many people don't know what to do if they don't have a fork in the house, or a pot to fix something in. You got to make a way. You got to know how to do stuff. And I just want to say a little further on that to say that when we talk about raising boys, especially a lot of women think you can't raise a man, all these kind of things. When I talk about raising a good human being, but when it comes to males, males should be resourceful. You understand? Like MacGyver almost, like can make some shit out of a fucking paperclip and get you, like that. Men should be males should be being raised that way to be resourceful. Don't just have them handed everything on their fucking platter. You understand? They need to be challenged because that makes you more of a survival and therefore a better provider and protector to your women and your children. When you get to be grown and you have a family, it's very important. It's essential. Um, um, oh, Correndo, I just read that already. Okay, I read those. All right, I'm caught up. Uh, okay. I want to talk about this, and we can come back to this if you guys want to, but I want to go to this because the two pieces I put out before this live stream um, are both just about a half hour each. And as I say, um, the first one I was dealing with um, the dumb bitch saying she wants to see her boyfriend's reaction if they're in the car and she's playing with her kitty. This is inappropriate, man. Like just the level of shit that African people are putting out for social media is just not acceptable. But more than that, for me, we're exposed in a way, and our shit is our front door is always open in a glass house for everybody to just fucking look at all times. And I'm just over that, you know, like I'm just over that. You know, most of society knows more about us than they should fucking know. And that's why you got to change perceptions, you see? And you can feel it in the society. I know if I'm someplace and a white dude feels like he can just have some like kinship with me or something, like I might just be standing in line to give you a basic example. Maybe it's something to comment on somebody that's taking too long or something. He may turn around, but he think he can just even talk to me. Like I'm not the one you can talk to. I'm not. You can't. Don't. It's a problem and there's a consequence. You understand? But why does he think that? Why? Our history suggests to anyone who would come from another planet and know it would say they should be afraid of you all. They should run when they see your melanated skin. They should run and cower and hide. Why aren't they running? That's how I feel. And that would be my answer to them. That's how I feel. I don't know why. That's how I feel. You're right. You're right. And this feeds into that, you know, but anything that's not conscious, and I hate to use that, but this is its true form. Because conscious is what the fuck is happening to you? What's your predicament as it relates to this white devil? That's conscious, everybody. That's what it is. All these overly hotep people with all the fucking, they know all the shit, that you're not going to use that. For me, to be conscious is to know that the white man is the devil and that is your enemy and that you're an oppressed individual in this bitch. They do not have your best interest at heart at any time, and it's all of them. That's the consciousness. That's consciousness. That is the supreme consciousness that all Africans need to walk around with. Because when you have a chip, people don't fuck with you. And when you have a chip, people don't feel comfortable around you. When you have a chip, people kind of put themselves on notice when you got a chip. But when you put out this shit that makes it seem that you're totally oblivious to any of that, then that gives them time to turn away. Well, they're not paying attention, so we can work on these other ones who know we're the devil. That's exactly what's going on. I can't make it any, I can't oversimplify it. You know, that's what's going on. It makes it worse. It just makes it worse, you know? And then you add that to the current atmosphere of everything I just laid out. How are those people understanding? They're not understanding the society. So their reaction to crisis is going to be ineffective and detrimental to themselves. Do you understand? Because they live in the wrong vortex, but most importantly, the wrong context. You're buying that we're all one, and we're all one. We bleed the same, and we're just one. And there's just a few of them that are bad, and there is no history and all this bullshit. And white people are the most fucking take up the ladder shit once they get to the other side than anybody else on the fucking earth. They can't wait to snatch the ladder up. They will kill their own mama. Literally. And we've seen examples of this in playful hypotheticals. You know, you see something like Survivor or Big Brother. You see how they're cat eat cat, you know, or Fear Factor or something like that. You know, they're very cat eat cat ass fucking people. And you're the first casualty on Survivor, on Big Brother, on The Weakest Link, on anything that they where it's any type of like it's going to get rid of people. You the first motherfucker to go. American Idol, bitch. Anybody, The Voice, goddamn, anything. Your black ass is the first to go. You're the easy casualty for them. Then they start picking other attributes about everybody else, but you just your melanin is that's you're eligible to be just gotten rid of and shit. And this will be no different. You know, you saw in Katrina, even. By the way, don't you know, I learned that this Ida hit exactly on the 16th anniversary of Katrina. Exactly. Very concerning to the Jedi. Very concerning. Because there were some numbers and there were some things. I thought I even saved an article. But anyways, you saw during Katrina, so that they came out, you were just trying to get shit because obviously the whole fucking place is a disaster zone now. So you're going to break in some shit and get you some Cheerios and whatever else you got to have. But there they were with their guns and shit. And that was all fine until they saw that the fucking people were going door to door to take their white ass guns too. Then it was a problem. You will not depend on white people for shit, everybody. This is all fakery. And like I say, what you should know about them clearly by now is that everything's fine as long as they have the advantage and everything's in their favor. The moment it changes, they have a problem. The moment, bitch, the moment. So, so there was that one with her, and then there was the one where the lady was exposing her daughter as clearly a rape, a molestation victim, a rape victim, whatever. And then there was the little fucking pixie in with the pregnancy. And since that, I've seen some video, I feel like somebody shared with me, where his bitch ass is sitting up there. Oh, I think the baby's coming. I mean, where I come from, it's a brother there to smash your face back into the back of your fucking medulla. That's how it's handled. It's done. We won't deal with that. We done. We good. We're done. You understand? But that's not happening because there's no consequence. There's no consequence. That's why. Somebody would have rolled on his ass a long time ago. But it's a commentary on where we at. That's a temperature check right there. Ain't no brothers got his ass. Well, you didn't get Zimmerman either after he murdered Trayvon Martin. And nobody went and saw that Darren Wilson never saw the light of day again. And we could keep going down the list. And the precinct wasn't leveled after Sandra Bland. So, either was it after Breonna Taylor. And yeah, we could just keep going, you know. But I'm from a place where shit gets handled and you know it in advance before you even try the shit. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a consequence. This is not going to be cool. Like, that's just known. But I tried to say in that piece also, because I was trying to talk fast, because, to cut you off. Because I never bought a extension SD for this thing, and that's really my major issue. I need to just get an SD that's where I know I can yak for as long as I want. But I was trying to bring home to say to my women, like, you got to stand up. You can't allow yourself to be impersonated by any fucking man claiming he's a woman. In fact, I saw a video where there's some white devil ass dude with some clown makeup on his face in some convenience store talking about, I guess they must refer to him as sir. He was like, I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am. It's ma'am. And he was really adamant and ready to fight people. And fuck you, sir. Bitch, what? I got my entire life, I don't know, a couple months ago when Bruce Jenner, there he was, leaving some Republican vomit. And I loved it because there was some white devil Republican dude was like, "Hey Bruce, can we get Bruce? Can he was you could tell it was on purpose. He was calling Bruce. I loved it. It gave my entire existence. It was everything I need to live. It was everything. It was everything. It was all my vitamin D. It was all my iron. It was everything. I think there was some B12. There was some B12. There were some things. But he's Bruce. Hey Bruce, and he wouldn't make a statement, but it pissed him off, and I loved it. But this dude was in this fucking store talking about it's ma'am, not sir. But I want to say to women, you need to push back on that shit right now. Right now. Like, you got to be able to fight all fronts, because I've told you over the years, and I continue to tell you, they change the subject every day. They scatter the puzzle pieces so you can never put it together. That's why you guys got to stay fucking focused. Nope, I know what that piece goes to. No, you got to jump at pieces, because that's how they're playing the game. Throw this out there, throw this out there, throw this out there. Make this the topic now. Quick, it's Afghanistan. Wait, no, it's the shit. Wait, it's, and you're like, fuck, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so it's not in, it would be in screenshots, right? I got his bitch someplace. But anyways, Bruce Jenner, bitch. Bruce. Bruce Nem. You understand? But there he was. And so you can't have men impersonating you women. Remember Wendy almost got a little bit of a dust up, which was a glimpse at what they really think. I didn't need it. It was just confirmation for me. Remember, some dude stood up in the audience, this was some time back, and said something. She goes, and you guys are not us, until you have Menzies, and she like went in on them. Stop wearing our clothes. Stop doing such and such. I'm like, is that because y'all not can't stand the bitch at all? Like, that truth had to be testified to. Like, absolutely, And they tried to give her some dust up over that. Well, that was perfect in my view. You understand? She still needs to fall from a very tall building. That's something else. You see, we'll come to that. But what I'm trying to say is women need to, just like these fake ass white big nose motherfuckers from Poland and Germany and Russia and shit and Ireland, trying to claim they're some authentic Semitic Jew and shit. You're the cream of existence. You should never let anybody step to your fucking throne. In jest or serious, give a fuck. You understand? Nah. It's too sacred to be a woman to have that even mocked. You know, like here's how dead ass I'm about it. Like even when we've seen Kevin Hart in a fucking dress or some shit, women should be fucking swarming the fucking place and writing letters and shit and shutting shit down, getting people canceled. Like that's a third rail, like these fake Jews. Third rail, bitch. Career and life over. Done. You understand? Like that should just be like, how you gonna be? But this is the same country that's telling you while they're letting little fucking wiggles like this bitch walk around proclaiming they're a woman and pregnant and shit. They're telling you that the Afghan women are just so oppressed and they need their freedom and their rights. Quick, we're going to Afghanistan, everybody. I changed everything. We're going to Afghanistan. We have to, because the women are oppressed. Okay, I don't have this man-ass bitch on here, apparently. He might be on there. Fine, I can still make my point. Just to say that y'all need to stand at that gate. Like, that's not even a gate. That's a fucking wall. Y'all need to stand at that wall and be like, not right here. But it's been an inroad to this because you have these little fairies around you. You know, who was it started with some of these female celebrities. You know, I have my gays with me, my gays. Like, what the fuck is that? I have my sinners with me. That's just the same sin. I have my alcoholics with me. I have my liars with me. I have my gluttonists with me. I have my well, they wouldn't be coveting another man's wife, so strike that from the list. Okay. All right. Okay. Just have ill repute with me. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Damn it. It's the same thing. So it began there, you know, and then everybody is using this gay language now. Yes. I saw, what's his name? Y'all know him. I feel like he was on the Jamie Foxx show, and he's a stand-up comedian. What's his damn name? He killed it. I'm never gonna see his. I can almost see his name. I can't think of it, but anyway, he killed me. Because he goes, here's a conversation. He's like, man, and ISIS, motherfucker, ISIS, such and such. He goes, here's a conversation you're never gonna hear. Yes, I'm ISIS, bitch. ISIS. Darnell something. Darnell. You have to see him do it. He laid me out with that. He killed it. He killed it. He killed it. Anyways, everybody's using that and just these phraseologies, you know, that have seeped their way into the popular lexicon, you know, that is from these people. I don't really have any issue with that so much. I'm just trying to say that but that's how it began, you see. And now we're you. You know, I'm a full ass man with a fucking beard and everything, and I want to run on the girls' track team, and I should be able to. Nah. You know, women and girls are going to have to stand at their wall right now and push back on this in a way that is even greater than somebody pushing up against abortion or for abortion or whatever, you know, wherever you're at. Because this is seriously an assault upon women. Certainly it's an attack upon African people without a doubt. But, you know, I feel like if we're going to triage the injuries, I feel like the injury is greater to women because of the sacred place that the woman holds in the universe with the divine one who created my God. Allah says to us as Muslims, says to mankind, paradise lies at the feet of the woman. That what else do you need to be told? What else? Everybody on earth trying to get to heaven. And here is the one who creates telling you this place that you all seek is at the foot of the woman. What? At the foot? That's just it. I'm opening every fucking door. I will levitate for you. I will. You don't need. You could have your coffee cup right here, right next to you. In the next room, honey. I need my coffee cup. Okay, dear, and I will run in the give you. I'll hold your fucking cup. That's it. You feel me? That I'm good. I'm here. You feel me? Like, so you're not gonna have some little fucking pixie traipsing up talking about their you. That's I'm not having it, you know. And comparatively, for me as an African man, you know, okay, I don't have the same place in the universe as you, the woman, but alas, I'm a black man, and therefore, my whole existence is sacred and unique than any other male on this bitch. And I'm not having nobody popping their ass up talking about they me. You understand? Like these weak ass niggas let Vanilla Ice through. They let Eminem through. They've been letting motherfuckers through because you marvel at somebody that's mimicking you. How outrageous is that? When monkeys do a trick that's like humans, we go, oh, isn't that cute? We give them a hand and they get their little bitch ass back to their cage someplace. Why aren't you doing this with this fucking white devil? He dope, man. He dope. He this and a third. Because did you look in the mirror? Did you know he was doing the exact same shit as you do? That's the shit you came up with. So that's the dude. Because I'm, I'm, I'll have to buy a vowel. Nah. So be over the imposter, the imposter of it all. You know, to the women. Start to, and you can speak out more vocally than men can, because when men say this is some bullshit, you're a pixie little bitch, then they want to throw this homophobic label at you, which we're not afraid of your bitch ass at all. Like that's not the issue. Like that won't be the issue. So sorry, it's just not. But you can defend it on your merit, your very existence as a woman, to say, how dare anybody make mockery or try to emulate or imitate the attributes that are unique to me as a woman. You don't get to sashay across the stage. I get to do that. You don't get to. You don't get to wear a fucking heel, which nobody should be wearing fucking heels. That's something else. I, you don't get to do that because I do that. You understand? And again, it's all backed up by the divine, because I've told you, even in your techie as Leviticus, your Bible, but there's some righteousness in there. And in Leviticus, it says to you that men do not wear the clothing of women and women do not wear the clothing of men. It used to be you could just stand in a crowd and knew who were the men and who were the girls. Now you don't know. You got the hardest dudes sitting up wearing full fucking fuchsia pink. That is a girl's color. And I've challenged everybody to say, why are we still having reveal parties? And I've said to you, just to be hateful, go to the next reveal party that you're invited to, and you know they're having a little girl, or no, a baby shower, because they would have had the reveal before that. Go to the next baby shower when you know it's a little girl and bring all blue shit. Or you know it's a little boy, bring everything pink and bring the fucking, just all the pink shit. They go, oh no, she having a little girl, a little boy though. Oh, that's fine. I brought all pink stuff. Because her dude, if he shows up, is probably going to be standing there in some pink anyways. Or some pink drawers will be sticking out because he's fucking got his pants down around his ass. So it's just all, there are no boundaries. There's no guide rails anymore, you know? But women need to defend this shit. Because why do you go from I'm gay to I'm a woman? Like they're even worse on it than I even see chicks that are lesbian. You know, some of them are real hard, especially the sisters. I ain't really seen no hard ass white bitch, but I seen some hard ass sisters that's like, nah, I'm gonna have to hit her if she come at me. You know, like I'm gonna have to remember not a woman that I'm gonna have to forget she's a woman. I'm gonna have to hit her because she's so much of a dude. I'm gonna have to hit her. I was in the store one day. This was a few weeks ago. And I guess the sister was mad, if I can call her sister, was mad because I got to the spot where you got to wait in line before she did. That's the only thing I could come up with when I reviewed it in my mind. I'm like, why the fuck did she, or was she just, did she get some of the fucking chemtrail shit and now she's just. But I feel like she was, and she had a wife beater on, she had tattoos, and she was sagging, and, you know, and an attitude like a dude. And then at one point, I guess the person takes on, she said, scoom, scoom. And I purposely took my time to move and look back and then move. Like, you ain't gonna be in a hurry. What? And she mobbed. Like, I can't even say she walked. She mobbed the fuck over. Like, ironically, I really do love black lesbian women. Like, they cool. I don't got no problem. There's no competition. I'm not threatened by them. They not a dude. You feel me? You definitely got no sword, so there's that. But it's different. It's a different thing than these men trying to be women. If I was a woman, that would be the final it for me. Like I would have some shit ready to like a crossbow or some shit ready for any time I saw that shit. Just like the crossbow at the ready, just in case type thing. You feel me? You never know when you'll need it. You just never know. Better be prepared. Uh, what I'm going to do today's Saturday. What I what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably do a recorded piece for you all that really puts a more cohesive gathering, if you will, of the goings on so that you can have a cohesive picture in case I'm not been able to articulate it to you tonight in a way that you would feel the urgency of the moment. Maybe you see it and that will be, effective or, for you. Or maybe if you just can see it and don't believe me or you just don't feel it or whatever, wherever station you at, I feel like I need to try and do something to move the needle, just for my own soul at the very least, that I know I did what I could. And so, any of my people that didn't get out, it won't be the burden on my heart. I can say I tried to warn as many as I could. I did that. I did that. And that's consistency, everybody, because as long as you've known me, I've told you, you, you always do everything you can do before you close doors so that you can walk away with absolutely no regrets. No different in this. No difference. Let's get through these. We're doing very good on time. I'm very pleased. Um, I think I left off at Corindle. Sweet D, right. Ida hit New Orleans. You and that O and that I, D. Um, Ida hit New Orleans on the exact same day. How is that possible? Because when it becomes a pattern, it's no longer coincidence. And there was some other things too. I'm almost tempted to pull it up. Damn it! I had the article, but I got rid of it. Damn it, me! This is why I don't take me anywhere. I'm not reliable. You can't. Is this it? No, that's. But maybe I should try and go back. Will I get lucky? Start lucky? No, it went away. Fuck. Anyways, and there were some things, that let me know that this was on purpose. That it was another event being staged. I just was there. Oh, Black and Bougie, I've read on many occasions, I've tried on many occasions to try and stop black women from caping for them, but I get called names too. I know that happens. I know that happens. They, our women really do, it seems, protects them, or, and but here's what I'm just thinking this as I'm saying it, as always. I think this right now, because there's so much competition between black women. I think that I think that black women give way too much value to what we as men say when it comes to our, but it's kind of a catchy, it's kind of a piece of barbed wire or something, because in a way that really is the place of the man. You know, a man has a responsibility, like I was talking about earlier, to gather skill sets and be able to like make a fucking house out of a fucking stick of gum or some shit. But he should also be gathering wisdom. He really should be the head of that unit. You understand? It's him and his woman as that support. You understand? What he don't have, she got the backup, and vice versa, and then the kids. So that should be in place. So I think part of some of that is being used, sort of infused here. Just kind of stay with me. Infused out of instinct. So therefore, this is a man appearing, and you, because it's always some man doing women's makeup. Patti LaBelle comes out looking like the fucking Cleopatra anytime you see her, and it's some dude that did her hair and her makeup. And like, where's the sister that could have did that? Because don't women put that shit on every day? Just not understanding. I mean, like, so they get put value in them. Men, these things are setting signals now for women of what's hot, and what hair to wear, and what shoe and shit. Like, it's a whole thing. I don't know how it got like that, but that seems to be, but to your point though, Bougie, about how they've sort of, they'll turn on you and shit, you know. Um, um, and you're going to say, yeah, Jedi, we should be insulted. D, some black women love gay men. They do. My Pisces sister, who I had to throw to the lions, when I finally realized how fucking petty she is Tamar Braxton. I was trying to stick up for her a little bit. You feel me? But I happened to catch, back when I used to have cable, I caught an episode of their Braxton show where it was somebody's birthday. No, it was her birthday week. It wasn't even the bitch's birthday. I've seen these flare ups from her before, but I guess it just hadn't been enough yet. I hadn't reached my threshold. It was somebody. It wasn't even her, but at this thing that wasn't her birthday, Tracy, I feel like her dude decided, or was it Tracy? I don't know who was dating the dude. I can't remember, man. Anyways, but he proposed. And she was really asked her. She felt like she was trying to steal her moment. I'm like, she's gonna chill in a minute. She's just joking, right? And she wasn't. I ain't fuck her since that day. Fuck Tamar Braxton, bitch. Fuck her. Fuck her. To the end of the earth. Bitch. Can't stand her. Hope she falls from a tall building. I'm over it. But she does live in a tall building, I'm being told. She does. Okay, so that's positive. Okay, good. Um, but she was her whole thing is gay. All of her everything. That's why she had such a, when the reel first started, when she and I think they kind of shut it down because what the earliest, when the real first was, well, when I first came into it, I think I was at around sort of the beginning. And you could hear the little queens in the fucking audience, yes, Tamar, yes. And she would do different things to signal to them, and all of her over the top. She's exhausting. They're exhausting. It's just, I'm out of breath right now. Where's my punch? I feel like I just ran a fucking marathon. Throw ice on me. I can't. Um, Bougie to Sweet D. Justin Shakur. Well, apparently the moderators handled that. CJ got rid of that. Thank you, CJ. Whatever that was, it never had to reach the eyes of or the throne of the Jedi. So I'm good. Um, Sweet D to Bougie, Corindo, they are telling medical providers not to use the word mother. Yeah, that was you that told me that. They are pregnant people. No way. Only a woman can give life. That's right, man. And I was really, that really was, you could see why I appreciated that when you had said that to me before. It's, think about that. But it goes to what I tell you guys all the time, that language matters, and this white devil knows it. Why would you have to refer to a woman as a pregnant person and not an expectant mother? You feel me? Like, it's just, I can't. And as Corindle said, not here, but I remember you said before, like, as if anybody else is giving life, if I paraphrase your statement, like, no, nobody else is giving life. No, no, nobody. Bougie. I knew shit was getting bad, but these people are literally trying to change reality. Indeed. Indeed. Because there are a thing, an entity that does not like reality. You understand? And by the way, reality is not really good for them. you know, because they are on the losing end of that. They're on the losing end of reality. I saw a doctor speaking in depth about vitamin D, which I didn't need to. I don't know why I landed on this, but excuse me, I did. And again, we are the people of the sun, bitch. We just are. We are the people of the sun. We are the people of the sun. It's us. Um, Black and Bougie, right, Jedi, when black men gave hip hop away and crowned jesters as the king of it, shameful. They even trying to coin the word babies. Like, why? Babies is already a natural word. Why are they, what are they saying? What do they mean when they say babies? Educate me, because I don't know that. Uh, I don't know that. You go on. Black women are saying they're proud of this little pixie for living his truth. Well, I want to live my truth. I'm going to do it. I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to live my truth. So I should be able to go out and murder everybody that I hate. That's my truth. I'm living my truth. I'm just going to do it. I give up. They're right. Everything I've said, I was wrong tonight, everybody. I'm going to live my truth. So tomorrow, I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going out and killing everybody I hate. I'm going to go ahead and rob that Bank of America on Monday, because I should go ahead and live my truth. I want to live my truth. I'm going to live my truth. So I'm taking out Bank of America on Monday. I'm killing all my enemies tomorrow. Um, Fuck it. I'm going to BMW and I'm going to take one of the cars. I'm going to live my truth. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I'm going to Oprah's house and say, bitch, give me the keys. I'm living my truth. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Sweet D, Lil Nas X. Corindle, yes, Sweet D, that's just D. Corindle to Black Bougie. Bougie to Corindle. Uh, Grant Bennett. I don't know if I shouted you out already, but shout out to you, Grant. Says, don't get vaxxed. Forced, filthy, poisonous vaccines make mark of the beast. Yeah. But here's the big thing, everybody. Like, just forget that it's a fucking vaccine. If you're not willing to be the steward over the very vessel that holds your soul, you ain't worth a damn. The water in the gutter is greater than you. I proclaim. You are worthless. No value at all. None. None. You got to be able to determine what happens to your physical body. This is one of the issues I had with being a corrections officer. It was okay with juvenile because you didn't have that. You didn't have to be physically. You didn't have to have physical contact with the kids, um, and I'm from South Chicago. I could look at most of their little ass, and they just do what the fuck I needed them to do anyway. So that was nothing. Um, but state laws and stuff like that, you couldn't put no hands on them, and they would use that for fucking death too. But when I got to the men's prison and began to work in men's corrections, the most degrading thing for me was physically handling anybody. I don't like that. And I'm not somebody who gets I don't seek power of any kind, or anything like that. I don't have ego like that. But when you have transportation days and you got to strip search men that could be your grandfather, I just couldn't do it. I just can't. Because I think probably, the cells of the body hold memory. And I'm a descendant of slaves. And maybe there was something in my being that was just too auction block for me. I didn't think of that at the time. But what I was conscious of was, if you just got your drawers on, I don't give a fuck you got anything in your shorts. You good, go ahead. But you have to be totally naked, and you gotta fucking bend over and spread your cheeks for me. And I have to look in your mouth with a flashlight as if I couldn't see what these fucking big ass eyes God gave me. And like, I'm just not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not meant to really search for contraband. It's really meant to just degrade you just because the fuck they can. So I would trade out with another officer or something, oh, I can't get up over to, receiving because I need to do such and such, or I call in sick or some shit. Like, I'm just not doing it, you know? I just couldn't do it. And nah, we're not doing that. We're just not doing that. We're not. What made me talk about that? What did y'all say? Um, uh, I don't know, but I'll just go on. Oh, that's not for me. Oh, because what's the name said? Oh, because I went off a tangent saying you got to control what happens to your body. Yes, because it's such an invasion. Like, you know, the Constitution is supposed to protect you from bullshit like this, but laws mean nothing to white people. They're just things to be written on paper and make it look nice. They like to always sound good and shit, but they never can live up to the shit. Usually everybody else is some shit they claim they are. You feel me? That's an attribute of whiteness. Just proclaiming shit that they could never live up to. So inferior is this thing. Uh, Grant, my body, my choice. Bougie, me neither, Jedi. I don't like degrading people. It doesn't feel right. Right. You know, not in that way. Now, no, let me be clear to say that, you know, there's a time to degrade people. You know, I'm very good at that. But that's for a different agenda, a different provocation, and everything else. But just being over somebody, you know, like even even when you work in the prison system, at least the prison I worked in, sometimes you do 2 month rotations. So 2 months you're on mornings, 2 months you're on mids, 2 months you're on graveyards, and then each day you come to the institution. You may be on the yard. You may be in control. You may be in the office. Now, when you're in control, you listening to you control all the cameras. Anything goes on anywhere in the institution, you have all the little controls there. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, the speakers, you can hear everything that's happening with those cameras, and phone calls as well. I can look at any phone anywhere in the institution. Anybody's on that phone, I punch that number, I can listen to your fucking call. Well, I'm just not a nosy person. I'm just not. You can leave your personal journal and $10,000 in cash on your coffee table and leave and go somewhere for 5 hours. And it's my first time in your house, even. I would not take your shit. I wouldn't read your diary. I wouldn't do it. I'm just not, that's just not me. That's natural for me. So I don't need to be looking at your fucking. I don't need to be listening to your phone calls. And then when you're in the yard office, especially on graveyards, some of the other officers, one of the things they used to do just for entertainment is, you know, you going through inmate mail and reading their shit, which you're supposed to read their mail. I'm not reading it. I'm just not reading it. You know, like the brother's got to have some fucking dignity. You know, and just because you locked up doesn't mean that you're the fucking scourge of the earth. I learned that very quickly. I knew that, you know, and that's why I was the most fucking respected officer in that bitch, because inmates understood that I came with respect, therefore I got it. That was a known don't cross. I give it, therefore I get it, and I did, and they did. Done, and we were good. There's definitely a time to show your fangs, but just for the sake of just doing shit, like, there's no future in that. You understand? Uh, Grant Bennett, you are a real truther, flat Earth included. Yeah, I'm someone who's about what is right, what is the truth of anything, and the only evidence we have, we're saying evidence. The only theory, the only suggestion that's been given by someone else that we can't verify claims that they've been in space and took a picture and no, this is what it is. They said that. Well, so let me go look. Because if that's the criterion, then I should have been come all the way through school and just hand in a paper and tell my teacher it's an A, put an A on it. It's an A. That's an A. Just you don't need to look at it. Just put an A on it. That's an A paper. It is. It's an A plus. It's outstanding. That's it. Here's my thesis. It's outstanding. It should be printed. You don't need to read it. Just put the A on there. You don't need to go into outer space. It's a ball. But every fucking thing on Earth shows me that this is a stationary fucking planet that's not a ball. And oh, by the way, pilots who have flown for many years, commercial airliners will tell you, flying international flights will tell you, there's never a time when we tip the nose to account for the curvature of the Earth. We don't do it. We don't. We fly across the fucking Earth. That's what we do. If it was a ball, at some point they're going like, this is a ball. This is the Earth. Well, it's not a ball. Damn it. I don't have a ball. Don't say that, Jedi. I was about to say something else. Astaghfirullah. Anyways, so just this is a ball. You'll imagine it's a ball. I'm flying across. And, oh my God, I flew off. Because it curved and I didn't. Only way you stay on this ball is you got to continue to go around it. You feel me? You must do that. Interesting that when they show the alleged shot when the astronauts are halfway to the moon and looking back at the Earth, the bitch is not spinning. So there's that. I mean, I got a million of them. I've proven beyond proof that the Earth is not a fucking ball. It's not. And it's not spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, everybody. Throw that shit in the trash with the rest of the garbage. You understand? You live on a flat Earth. You just do. Now, is it just a pancake flat? No. I mean, obviously we have mountains and things like that, but um, it's not a ball. It's just not. Because the laws that Allah has established for us are firm, just like man and woman and procreation and not pixie ass Nas bitch X. You understand? The laws are firm, and when you're outside of the laws, you have a problem. That Allah has made it that the rain falls from the heaven, and He has made it such that water settles at the levelest place. You can't have water clinging to a ball and then spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, because that seems like the spin cycle on the washer. And why doesn't that do that? Huh? And you can't have, oh, we're just moving so fast, but you can't feel it. When you get on a roller coaster, you feel every fucking thing. Like you can't have this. This is not a flat Earth. It is not. I mean, this is not a globe. It is a flat Earth. It is. It just is. It just is. And anybody saying otherwise, you have to say to them, bring their evidence. Bring your evidence. If all you got is the NASA shot, that's not going to really work for me, because I've given you water, I've given you airplanes. I can give you also, by the way, that leveler that's in the airplane, that's not a digital thing. That's just a fucking gyroscope. It's kind of like, I have a leveler here. It's in my utility drawer in my kitchen. With the little bubble in it when you want to put a picture up the right way. It seems that would be moving. Oh, by the way, I don't need to get a passport and get a Delta flight to Ghana. Apparently, if the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, I could just jump into the air, find some way to spin myself for maybe a couple of hours, and I'll be in Africa. Because the Earth is going to move past me once I jump off the beach. But it doesn't. Seems like it's just somebody just hover me in a helicopter. Here, just take off from my house, just right in my front yard. Let's just hover here till the Earth comes around and it's Africa. Quick land. We're in Africa. It doesn't happen. Because the Earth is not fucking spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. The bitch is not moving. Indeed, it is as Allah has said to us in the Quran, that He has made the sun and the moon to rotate in their own cycle, letting you know they're not the same, letting us know the moon has its own light that is not reflected light. I could keep going. I could be here for the next hour, 2 hours, proving my case. But a motherfucker with a ball, all they got is some gravity and a NASA picture. That doesn't work for me. Doesn't work. Does not work. Bougie, right? Not my own kind. Grant, you are. Oh, I read that. Grant, you are a comma. A karma. Is it comma or karma? Karma-based person. Karma. Did you mean carbon? Not sure what I read there. Grant, clarify for me. Bougie, pardon my ignorance, but why does it look spherical in pictures? Because it's a picture. That's not a real picture. I mean, that's exact because it's a picture. There are no photographs of the Earth. NASA admits they have to do a composite, which is it's a composite. It's a composite. I tell you, the only thing that's got me fucked up is the space shuttle, because I don't go that far. Because my father worked on the space shuttle. My father worked on the fucking Columbia. He worked on Challenger. He used to on the tile. We used to go to Rockwell International. Days they're going to have the hangar open, or they're going to let the families of workers come in to see the space shuttle. And we used to live in the Antelope Valley, and they bring it down 10th Street West or some bullshit, like going from the Palmdale plant to Edwards Air Force Base. I've been to Andrews Air Force Base to watch the bitch land. There's nobody that knows more about the space shuttle than me, other than the fucking astronauts themselves. Like, I am that space shuttle dude, so I can't account for that. I'm still working on it. Don't have the answer. Because I know the space shuttle is a real thing. How real is it? Because some of the charges I hear being made. You know, I do know that it's consistent with the idea of only low Earth orbit, but we have to get rid of this word orbit. You see, and because again, the firmament is only so high, so it gets into a thing. It gets into a thing. I don't know. Grant, yes, flat Earth truth is of fundamental importance. Then you're talking to Bougie. Then you say that about everything. Amada Turner, shout out to you. I don't know if I've shouted you out already. We're gonna do another 15. There's a guy on YouTube that was in the military and he had some type of special clearance and told us the world isn't a circle exactly. Many people, not many, a few people have of who seem to be placed or were placed have come out over the many years, and things have been leaked over the years. They give us a certain understanding. That at the very least it is some bullshit. You know, um, and again, why is nobody allowed to go to Antarctica? Why? Why? You see, the fact of the matter is, a flat Earth is not only consistent with what we see and experience every day as human beings, but it's consistent with revelation from God, what the divine has said. You understand? You go, well, that lines up. That lines up. Um, Bougie, I used to get in a lot of trouble as a kid. I got an evaluation and was told I had a high IQ. But stuff like this makes me feel like I'm not so bright after all. Well, it's relative, Bougie. You know, you can sell it. There's layers. Even Allah creates everything in degrees and layers. So there just be some areas where, like, I'm a pretty smart person, but I don't know everything. And there are things that stump me, but I love that. Like, I love when I don't know something because now I get to learn something else. I'm going to know even more. Now I'm even more smart. You know, it's a gaining of knowledge, but just always know that all knowledge resides with the divine at all times. Like anything we know, we're only allowed to know it. You will never be as smart as the divine. That should just give you some peace right there. Like you good. Know what you know and continue to seek knowledge. Don't feel like if you just because you don't know something that you damn I'm not as smart. You are. Because what does it mean? Because is you if you know the stuff you need to know, like it's good if you have other stuff. Let's say you only know how to fly airplanes, but oh my God, now you're in the Andes and they just have these little motorbikes. That don't really work for you. That doesn't mean you're an idiot. Now just learn to ride the motorbike and get on with it. Not the best analogy, but I hope you take my meaning. Um, Grant, black bougie. Oh, that's black bougie. Grant to Grant Amara. Do you think the moon is a sphere? No, because we see the moon is there's times of the day when you can see that it's almost like a ghost. Just today, even yesterday, even when I at some point I went somewhere and I was standing over at Uncle's talking to him, and I pointed at the moon. It was so beautiful last night or yesterday and today, but it looks like a ghost sometimes. But sometimes you could see a star through the moon. This is why in Islam you see the crescent and the star, because we've known for ever. And if you accept that Islam has always been our way of life as African people, but maybe you can't make that leap yet. But there's a reason why we have the crescent and the star in Islam, and in most Muslim countries, and there's other countries where they use the crescent and star. They're acknowledging this understanding that you could see the stars through the moon, you know. And then Allah says to us in the Quran that The moon has its own light. It's not reflected light. So we know that reflections don't happen off of a circle. If you get a mirror, I have a portable mirror someplace. You get a mirror. We all played in the sun with the mirror, burning the ants. It was my magnifying glass. But you know, you reflect the mirror, like you know, especially when you're playing GI Joe or something. You can't do that with a circle. You can't. It has to be a flat surface for light to do that. So that's one of the other. Again, the laws have to be. You got to account for the laws that God has set up. So for the light to hit the earth the way that it does from the moon, that's got to be, if for it to be from a sun, then it's got to be a flat thing, which it's a circle but it's flat, but it's not, but it's not a reflector either. It The moon has its own light. It's this is one of the things that I want you to see. When you see what real stars look like, you'll be like, oh my God. I mean, Allah says to us in Quran that He has hung the moon and the stars in the sky like lanterns. The divine doesn't speak like, it's kind of like He's telling you exactly what it is. That is what He means. Like, you know, I guess He may know that you do that shit in Christianity. You don't even know how the divine speaks. From the divine language, when you read it, you understand what the divine is saying to you, how He speaks. So when He says He hung the moon and the stars in the sky like lanterns, He means lanterns. And lanterns don't do what? Reflect. So we can understand. I hate every time I move this damn phone. Just go like as if I can't just put it down and pick up where I left off. Uh, oh, that's Tabushi. Bushi to Grant. Amara. Oh, the moon's a sphere. Okay, answer that. To Grant Tabushi. Shiro, my queen. I'm landing. Good to see you. Um, Grant, again, you are so right. The moon is a plasma light in the sky, transparent. You can't land on it, right? You can't. That's what I'm saying. If people really knew how glorious our atmosphere is, it would change humanity. Change it, because you're going to see God, because you're not paying attention in the birds and the trees and the flowers and the water and all the shit that Allah is screaming at you all day, showing you Himself. If you know, some people need something more, you know, but the moon is something like it. You can't. You can't. It's hard. There's no words for it. If you really knew what the moon was, you go, damn, wow, the moon is. It's not this fucking pasty looking dusty ass ball that they given you that some fucking white devils went to and landed on. Yeah, that happened. Oh, by the way, you know that they always fuck up. That's why you always have to just tell the truth. Like Judge Judy says, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. That's so perfect. That's so perfect. But there they were, making a big deal of this one of the suits that Neil Armstrong and them wore on the first moon landing. But there's no ridges on the bottom of the shoe, so how do we get the fucking footprint on the moon, bitch, with all them ridges in it? This was a church shoe, bitches. A church shoe. I'm over it. It's such a lie. It's a provable lie. Bougie. Then what is it? A transparent disc of some sort? That's too cheap, but that will get you there. It's more beautiful and complex than that, obviously, because it's created by the divine. Like even the sun, and I should say this to you all too, the sun and the moon are way closer to us than they're telling you. The sun is not 93 million miles away, everybody. Throw that shit out. And that a million Earths would fit in it. That This is ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. Like, but here's the thing. What do I tell you guys all the time? Those of you that have known me for since 2014, if you want to hide something, put it right out in the open. Nobody will see it. 100% guaranteed. Just put a million in cash on the coffee table. Nobody will see it. They'll never see it. And this goes on in the society all the time. Nation is screaming at you what the truth is. It's right in front of you, and you don't see it. So they get to come in and tell you what you're seeing is really something else. You see, it's very diabolical. It's very diabolical. Garrett says plasma, light, moon, uh, bougie, a hockey disc. No, just keep in mind flat, divine, miraculous thing. A crystal. How about that? A crystal em, emanating light. That'll get you started. A crystal. We'll use that. Yes. The moon has its own light. The sun has its own light. Uh, People are waking up to flat Earth. Yeah, it's. I've had really good experience. Most people I talk to, I just give them the basics that they can understand. They go, yeah, you know what? I never thought about it. That's the big thing. Sometimes people just never thought of it. Since you're a kid, you walk into fucking kindergarten and they got that fucking plastic globe right there in the teacher's room, and they find America, or something. None of it's true. None of it. Bougie. Where did Neil Armstrong go? At best, they went on a high altitude flight. That's it. Went on a high altitude flight, and then they switched to the shit that Stanley Kubrick and them shot in a fucking movie studio. Donald Rumsfeld's bitch ass, who finally died recently. Finally, he's dead. Finally, Allahu Akbar. Die your old ass off, bitch. Die off. So glad he's dead. So glad. Oh, I think I just nutted on myself. I may have. We'll check. But these people have been around forever doing evil. And Rumsfeld was one of the people involved with saying, maybe we could just shoot the damn thing. Because they can't get to the moon. There's the Van Allen radiation belts alone. You can't get through. You can't. The high density radiation belts. We don't have anything that we've produced that can get through it without frying the electronics or frying a human. We don't have it. The one time the space shuttle tried to fly higher than it normally flies, the astronauts came back with the effects of that you get when you have been exposed to high radiation on the eyes. So they never went that high again. But what are they? I don't know if there's really weightlessness. That's a question mark. I can't answer that. You know, I do know that when the space shuttle takes off, it leans over like this and goes down. It ain't going up. How come I thought y'all was going up? You know, and some people speculate, that it's they got on speculations. I can't prove any of it because seen the space shuttle launch and I've seen it land with my own eyes. I've seen it land. I have touched it. I have touched the space shuttle after it just fucking landed. I've done that. So I know it's a real thing. I know it. But how is it being used? How much of that is real? I don't know. I don't know. Thus is the journey. Thus is the journey. Okay, a couple more and we're going to land. Um, um, Grant, hidden in plain sight. Luke 4. Shout out to you. Hey Jedi, there are videos that also show the moonlight is colder than areas where there's shade. The moon directly has its own light. You're 100% right, Luke 4. Excellent. Frankie Cardona, my brother. What's up, man? Thank you for showing up, brother. I'm landing. I'm going to read these last few comments and we're about to get out of here, homie. Um, uh, but I'm glad you got a chance to show up, Frankie. Appreciate you, brother. That's to Bougie. Bougie. These people are sick. They're the devil. It's too nice to say they're sick. They are the devil. That's why I say it all the time, because it's the truth. How you think and speak is how you relate and react. I live by that. You have to say the white man is the devil. You understand? Because if I hand you something and say, here, this is Kool-Aid, or this is water, that's a different. I say, here, it's anthrax, it's poison. That's a different. That's a different register going on. Oh, because that's what we see. That's what's accurate. It just cut off and came back and said you're alive, and that you hate your scarf. It just said that on my screen. Okay, it didn't say that, but it should have. Anyways, Amara, last question. Promise. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Do you believe in the other planets? I war with this. I don't know, Amara. I think if there are other so-called planets, they exist in our firmament. They're not outside, you know. But I'm a student of the one that created me. The divine has said to us and spoken at length about the heavens. You know, there are 7 heavens, and the universe. And I have videos about that here on the channel, but it's mind blowing. Um, it's a lot. But if I'll say this, if there are planets, there's only 7. Don't give me this 9 and 11 and bullshit. There's 7, because the divine has shown us what he does with the number 7. The opening surah of the Quran has 7 verses. There's 7 heavens. And Quran, Allah says to us that the 7 doors of hellfire have been chained, and it's just the 7 shows up a lot. So I can go with 7 planets, but that's about it. I don't really get to 9. You know, even Michael spoke of, but he's a child of this environment. The planets are lining up. We're bringing brighter days. What planets? Where are they lining up? They're all in line, waiting for you. Grant, planets are wandering stars. I think I fall more in that category, Grant, too. Then there's just these big ass planets out there waiting to be discovered and shit. Like, bougie. So is there nothing out there? Here's something that even I used to, when I was, God, I guess he should be dead already. He must be really old. This Bill Nye the Science Guy. How old was I when I was watching him? Like probably 7th grade or something. I don't remember. But Bill Nye, I used to watch Bill Nye the Science Guy all the time. And Bill Nye has always said this is a closed system. But fuck Bill and the bitch that gave birth to him, because when we look at what the divine has said to us, you know, in the Quran, in the Bible, it's a firmament. In the Quran, Allah says that He's established a barrier through which we cannot transgress. You know, a barrier. Um, it could even be that we're not even in this thing called space. A lot of our internal pictures in our minds are directly from television because we've not been to space. I ain't been to that bitch. You feel me? So, this idea of this blackness and floating and shit, where do we get that? You have to go back and say, what's really the true essence of why that would be in my head? You got nothing personal. All you have is what's been given, and that's critical. What's yours? You're going to have an experience. That's your experience. You had it. It happened. You did it. That's vastly different than somebody just showing you a picture and telling you some shit. So, um, Luke 4. Yes, exactly. Jedi. Now, all of a sudden, NASA has said they didn't have the technology to get past the radiation belt. Yeah, I know. Even though now our technology should be way better. I've said earlier, I could launch a space shuttle with this phone alone. This has got more shit than the two-way radio they claimed that was the technology that sent the fucking shit to the moon. I'm over it. It's laughable. And also, let me add this, ladies and gentlemen, your boy has been to the Air and Space Museum on the National Mall. You understand? And you could see the shit that they claim they took to the moon. You're like, that's out of Toys R Us. It's not even big enough. Physically, you see it, you go, that it's a toy. With just a fucking aluminum foil, some shit you would bake a chicken in. It really is laughable. Grant, you can't penetrate the firmament. We are in a closed system. That's it. And I've seen videos where they sent up rockets straight up, just regular Joe Blow. I used to fly model rockets when I was little. So you get you some the right rockets. They're kind of like firecrackers, but you can get a lot of altitude. And the thing went on forever, and finally it hit something. It hit something. It had cameras on it. It hit something. It hit something, going straight up. And like that was just the end of it. Um, yes, Cheryl. Landing now. Gear down. Final approach. Um, yes, everything within the firmament. Bougie. I always thought there was big truth in the Truman Show. Yes. Yes, yes. Um, maybe I'm right. Grant, Bill Nye, the fraud guy. But he said some truthful things, you see. That we have we I always tell my audience we accept truth no matter what the source. If I cannot stand your bitch ass, if you say something true, I have to acknowledge that truth while I kill your ass off. Like earlier, I was talking about Wendy. Cannot stand the bitch, wish she would die, but she said something I had to acknowledge. Bougie, this will be my last one. Right, everything we've been taught has come from no original thought of our own or source. It was given, capital letters, to us, and we think, and we can't think outside of it, right? But that's why people like me exist, to challenge you to expand your thinking. That's the last one I'll read, everybody, because that there was none after that, so that's perfect. Expand your thinking, question everything. If you've never been exposed to me before, something I always say to my audience, I've said over the years, is the most beautiful thing that ever comes out of the mouth of a child is why. They will run you fucking crazy. People have been sighted at crazy houses that have never been returned to their homes. It's a dark corner, but they will run you into the ground with why. But there's wisdom in that, you know, because they're new. They're reminding you that you got to have a reason. And in the case of little kids, everything's new. So they need to know why. Go to your room. Why? They don't mean to be disrespectful. They just, why? Why do I have to do that? Tie your shoe. Why? Go to bed. Why? Take a bath. Why? They want to know why. And we should be asking fucking why and driving people into fucking insane asylums our own ass with the shit. You understand? Run their ass crazy. Oh, that's fashionista, y'all. Uh, Allahu Akbar. They made it to Mexico. I'll read the rest later. Um, Allahu Akbar. But um, we have to ask why. Expand your thinking, but also begin with, when you vet information, you also vet the source. That's why anytime I read articles, we always look who wrote it. Who's telling us this? Who is telling us this? What publication is it? Is it USA Today? Is it CNN? Is it Fox? Is it who's telling us this? You understand? Um, because the source matters. I'm a man of high character. Character matters to me. It is my everything, you know. And for me, it's different to have someone of my character and then someone who has a very optional relationship with the truth and things like that. Not the same information coming. Maybe one of them you really need to research some shit. The other one, no, they kind of said it's kind of like your parents. We grew up thinking our parents are God. They say it, it must be true. That's it. We do it. They said it. We have trust that they would not mislead us. It's my parents. My mom told me it must be true. My dad told me my dad wouldn't lie. It must be true. He could just be wrong. But you're still giving credit to the source. But because they're human like you want to sweep behind them. I totally believe them. Let me check it also. Bitch ass Ronald Reagan had a statement that he's famous for: trust but verify. I have to agree with him. I'm glad he's dead. There, I said it. Anyways, in closing, I just say, seek knowledge for yourself, everybody. But know that the messenger of this society is a a specious demonic liar. You don't believe a fucking thing they're saying. I always say if white people have a pulse, they're lying. We don't even get to the breathing. We don't have time. If they have a pulse, they're lying. That's a lie. That's a lie. How do you know? Because there's a pulse. Because that's the evidence we have. They've worked a big magic trick on black people, gotten us thinking there could actually be good ones, when there was a time when every single one of them was bad. How did some of them get good all of a sudden? Nah, you still bad. Pythons are still pythons. Boa constrictors are still fucking boa constrictors, bitch. And a fucking 18-wheeler will still kill your bitch ass at 90 miles an hour if you're standing in the road of it. So this is the same thing for me. You understand? It's the same thing. You have to be firm on when you establish knowledge and understanding for yourself. Understanding. I would even put that over knowledge at this point, because knowledge is kind of its own category. Understanding is really something else. A child may not have a lot of knowledge, but they can understand some things. They don't know the knowledge of shipping and receiving for their bunk bed to be in their room, but they understand when you say take your bitch ass to bed that you mean that. They understand that. So understanding can almost be a leg up over knowledge. And you need to understand um, value what you understand, you know, seek knowledge, but know what you understand and understand things are not the way that they're being sold because everything is to the benefit of white people to make them look like innocent and they're amazing and none of it is true, none of it, and we are still the target of their venom, always have been and always will be until we do something, you see, that is swift, firm, and catastrophic on their ass. You know, once you get bit by a dog, you kind of good. No, I don't need to. You don't need to bring your dog out so I can meet it. I'm good. I don't need to. You know. Um, when we assemble again, we will discuss more um, as far as because this is developing as I sit here. You know, these various things that they are doing and putting in place for whatever it is they're planning. But you don't want to just sit back and be awed by that. You need to get proactive, everybody. That's what I open up trying to tell you about. You got to, what are you going to do? What's your reaction? What's your plan B? What's your escape clause? You understand? What's your escape clause? What's your backup? You know, I'm on pins and needles because I'm just hoping and praying for the safety of all humanity and everybody that lives in this bitch that they don't come up with some bullshit that tries to interrupt my exit from this bitch on 5th August. I swear by Allah, anyone trying to stand in the way of me getting out of this country will be a dead human being, a carcass. Screenshot this, record it, do whatever you got to do. And remember, I said that shit because I mean it. I mean it. And if you are wise, as I've been saying to you the whole night, you make some course for yourself to have a backup plan to get out or whatever you're going to do, you know. But we've assembled now for. I thought I was going to get out at 2.5, maybe 2:15, 2:40. That didn't happen. Now we're at 3. We're out. I want to say that I probably will. Um, I really want to do a recorded piece on so I can assemble all the shit that you need to be paying attention to. So that's what I'd really like to do. Um, so that more than likely will be what I will bring forth for you next. I could get a red herring. We could go live tomorrow. I don't know. Allahu Alam, as we say. You know, I don't know. But for now, I say thank you to all my moderators. Thank you to everyone who came to be a part of the stream this evening. I appreciate your presence and your audience. I do pray that I have left you in a better place than when you found me, you know, that you're a little bit richer, you're a little bit more enriched, that you knew I left your glass a little fuller than I found it, you know, and that I've been of value to you, that this was not just a waste of time for you, um, that I've touched something in you that will make you spiral into um, a frenzy of thirst for knowledge and understanding of the times, your environment, um, and yeah, hopefully I've done that. So I love you all. It's why you even see me. I love you all. I love us. And I do this because I want to see our day of justice, reckoning, awakening. Um, I could do a list of words, but I want to see us in a better place and on top and getting exactly what it is that we should be getting on the earth. You know, that's why I try to make my contribution and speak when I do. And I'm just one, but I'm an army by myself, but I'm only one. I always say that, you know. Um, yeah, a lot of work to do, everybody. So enjoy the rest of your evening. And if it is the will of Allah, we will be together tomorrow, or I will have a recorded piece out to you, probably, if not tomorrow, then on Monday, depending on how long it just because things create themselves. Like however involved I get, I don't know. It's just whatever produces itself is what happens. But like I say, if I get a wild hair and I see somewhere where I could or need to have something to say tomorrow, then I'll certainly try to use tomorrow for that. I should also say that the time is drawing very slim now, everybody. So I'm already under a crunch, and these are cathartic for me because I'm under so much pressure. And this also gives me a chance to step away from my own existence, if that makes any sense at all. And outside of this weekend, could this could be the last time we speak for a little while, at least this month. You know, um, yeah, I got a lot to do and a small window within which to do it, and I got a lot of shit being thrown at me. You know, um, that makes this so uncertain and nerve wracking. You know, with all this pandemic bullshit, it will be enough to make an international move on its own. It's a heavy lift. But all these other hoops you gotta fucking jump through make it almost a nightmare, you know? So I say that just to say that as far as my time management, you know, um, I just have to play it by ear, know that I'll speak when I can, and and you know, um, there's well, what's today's just the 18th, but that's I'm like fuck, it's the 18th, so it's just the 18th. Nah, like I'm in a different time continuum right now than I promise you are. I promise you that 100% I promise you. I'm in a different vortex, literally a nebula, whatever. So, um, and if you're not following me on Jedi Africa on my other channel, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're probably going to end up getting left in the dust to some degree. Just saying. So figure out what you need to do or how invested in me you are. I'll leave that to others, as Reagan used to say. Um, Not that I was born yet, but I hear he said that. All right, settle down. So have a good night, everybody. Get some rest. Rest your soul, not just your body. Rest your soul. Rest your soul. Do that, and I'll see you soon.